Okay, so my turkey's head has been drying. Again, this one's a little small for its body, but I think in the end it'll still look really cute. So I still have my paint from when we just did the leaves. So I'm just going to take these and throw them aside out in the garbage probably because they are paper, so they're not going to last really long. And just start painting. I started at the back from the front because you're looking at it that way you can do, and I did all of one color. Now I do have brown paint, so I'm just going to do some brown. It just adds a little, or you can just leave the pine cone as brown and just do random ones wherever you want. I did not clean my paintbrush in between. It really doesn't, for this, because it's fall colors, they kind of all mix together and it just makes it actually a little more real, because turkey's feathers aren't solid colors. They're all different colors. Well, not real turkeys, American Thanksgiving turkeys. They're all different colors. And so you're just going to keep going around painting in the colors. I do the top too. It just kind of gives it that whole look as opposed to leaving the tops of it brown. Go all the way around. Again, I just did all one color until I thought, well, that's enough of that color, and then I moved on to the next color. Actually, this one paints pretty fast. The pine cones, these pieces, I don't even know what we would call them, parts of the pine cone, but they're nice and smooth. So they're super fast and easy to paint. And it doesn't really take a lot of paint because it's smooth and the pine cone doesn't, you would think it's really dry that it would soak it up, but it doesn't, and it's really cool. Okay, so I think that's probably enough orange for now. Again, you can always add as you go. So then I'm going to switch to my red, start in the back again. So I've got kind of a reddish orange mixture going on here because I didn't rinse my paintbrush in between, but you surely can if you want to. Mrs. Rumor is always in a hurry, so I just kind of, because I like to get it done, and the reason I like to get it done, not because I don't want to do it, I like to get it done and then look at it to see if I want to change anything, because you really don't know until it's all done, and then you say, oh, actually, yeah, I want more yellow, or I want more red. And so that's why I'm always kind of rushing to get it done, because I like to change things up after it's done. Sometimes I can't really tell when I'm going along, so I've got to wait until I'm all done, and then I'll change it. Okay, so that's my reds. Yellow. Yellow is the color that pops the most, so you can really see the yellow. So that's the one that you probably want to do in between, and maybe where you just have like the smaller, where it's not opened as wide, because it pops, because it's so much brighter than the red or the orange on the brown, that you don't need to have the whole pine cone leaf. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. That's a good science question. What do they call these? We know it's a pine cone, but they're made of individual cone needles. We just did pine cones in my class 2 weeks ago. I should have looked it up for that. Okay, so you're going to get it all painted as much as you want. And again, if you don't paint everyone, that's okay. They did say that the picture that I saw, they had some brown ones. They actually painted brown. Well, we have brown, so we don't need to really paint it. So if you leave some natural, that's okay. So while that's drying, you've also got some tiny little googly eyes. And I gave you, I think, at least 6 or 7, because they're super easy to drop and super easy to lose. So where'd it go? Oh, right here. Oh my goodness, it's standing up. I couldn't have done that if I tried. So glue works the best for that. So while this is drying, just up like that, we're going to go ahead and just put 2 little dots. And remember, white glue dries invisible, so it's okay if you put a little bit too much. Just get those eyes on there. I tried the glue dots, those crazy, very sticky glue dots. Yeah, that was not happening. So just dropped my eye. They are tiny, but this pom-pom, his head is tiny, so we can't really have big one. So then we get his eyes on there. Leave it in that position so that it can dry. And while that's drying, you should also have a piece of felt. Oh, mine fell on the floor. Piece of felt. So you need to do his beak and then his wattle. And so his beak, of course, is just a little triangle. If you have a corner, that's probably just the best. Cut off, get a nice little triangle. Get that glued on there. Again, you just kind of need a little dot. And then the wattle, kind of, you know, it's like a teardrop that goes out, a little bit of length to it, but not too much, because again, his head isn't very big. So we don't want to give him too big of a wattle. This is kind of a, I don't even know what shape you would call this, wattle. So it's kind of like a kidney bean shape. And then we're going to just turn him around so he's facing you, and you're going to just glue it. I glued mine back here, and you can, I mean, when you're looking at it like this, you can't tell. When I'm looking down at it, it's a pro. So I actually glued it onto the pine cone itself, not the pom-pom, but right up next to the pom-pom so that it looks like it's coming out of his neck like a real wattle would. But because it's going onto the pine cone, it'll stay a little bit better. So there we go. So my guy's ready to just sit and dry. And I mean, you guys know, I've been saying for years and years, nothing stronger than white glue. If you can let it dry completely, it will stay forever. Now, I did come across in my closet of goodies that I have some feathers. So I gave you guys just kind of a random bunch in there that I thought would be super cute if you wanted to. And the cool thing, because it's a pine cone, you can just shove them in there and move them around as you want, or you don't have to. I thought it was cute before I even saw the feathers. I wasn't planning on doing feathers. I was, like I said, I was looking for something else, and then I came across that and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. So you have feathers if you want feathers. I gave you 2 pine cones so you can make 2 turkeys and hopefully enough feathers. And again, if you just stick them in and then you change your mind, presto, back to where it was. And those are always the best kind of things, when you can change it up after you change your mind. So that's our turkey. And next we are going to be working on the placemat.